And so how can we tell when we're approaching burnout? Because if I go back to that sponge analogy, if you look at a sponge that's got water in it, you're not necessarily able to tell if it's, for example, 80% full or 50% full. Imagine burnout's a little bit the same. So what are some of the major signs of burnout approaching?
Okay, well, this relates to what we call your stress signature, meaning that each of us have certain characteristic reactions we'll have, stress reactions when we're more mildly stressed, moderately stressed, and severely stressed. And actually, I'll just mention this idea comes from therapy in the psychosis field. It used to be found with people with schizophrenia, they are more likely to have a relapse if their stress got to a certain level. So what they found is that they could really reduce the number of admissions for psychosis if they help people with schizophrenia learn to identify their stress signature. What if they started, for example, to have some disruption to their sleep, a little bit more difficulty with concentration? Then if their stress got to a more moderate level, they might hear voices, start to have some delusional thinking, notice that would be picking up. And then when people are more severely stressed, then they might be barely able to function in certain ways, have more severe delusions, and the hallucinations could be, again, more frequent. So the idea was people had to pick up the subtle signs early. Now, we can apply that to managing stress generally ourselves, and each of us are going to have certain characteristic reactions. There'll be physical symptoms. For many people, that might be heart pounding a little bit more, maybe feeling some tightness in the shoulders or the jaw or the stomach. There might be the mental symptoms or cognitive symptoms like problems with concentration, more negative thoughts, maybe feeling a little bit more spaced out at times. Then there'll be the emotional symptoms, which often would include irritability, maybe low mood, losing joy with things. We might become more withdrawn. There might be a few more arguments with our partner, for example, and then maybe some sense of a loss of meaning. So spiritual symptoms, feeling a little bit empty. But the thing is, these different reactions will have their own sequence. And if we pick up early what the signs are, so if we tend to feel some discomfort in our stomach or have distracting negative thoughts or feel a bit more irritable, to recognise those are actually helpful signs that things are getting out of balance. We can make those signs a bit like brake warning lights on a car or something like that. They're an indication that tells us to respond. And if we respond early, we're less likely to have the compounding problems with, say, sleep, low mood, less risk of it going on to depression and the like. So the thing is, the more aware we are of our stress signature, the earlier we can intervene.